Hi, everyone. This is the section of Chapter 7 that is about temperament. Let's see if I can get the slide to change here. Sorry. Okay, so the structure of temperament was developed by two theorists named Thomas and Chess. Now, Thomas was the male, Chess was the female, and they did a longitudinal study. It was called the New York Longitudinal Study. And what that means is that they studied their sample of participants over a long period of time. In the end, what they found was that children fell into one of four categories. Either they had easy temperament, difficult temperament, slow to warm up temperament, or there was this large class of their sample that didn't really fit into any one category, and they were called unclassified. So, primarily, children came out as easy temperament. But let's learn a little bit more about their study. So they studied 133 children, again, from infancy all the way to adulthood. And again, the categories ended up being easy, difficult, and slow to warm up. Now, here's the breakdown of how they got into those categories. They looked at their biological functioning. How was their sleeping, their eating patterns, their motor development? You can also see their response to new stimuli. How did they respond to new events, new people? How did they then adapt to those new people and new situations? How intensely would they react? And what was their overall quality of mood? And if you look at this table here, you can see that easy and difficult children are completely on opposite sides of the spectrum. While easy children are regular, difficult children are irregular. Easy children have a positive approach, adapt easily, react mildly and positively. Difficult children have a negative withdrawal, adapt slowly or not at all, are intense and negative. And then you have the slow to warm up children who kind of fall in the middle. They're kind of like shy children. They're somewhat irregular. They initially have a negative withdrawal, but they will adapt slowly when they feel comfortable. Their reaction is also mild, similar to a shy child. And they'll seem negative initially, but they'll gradually become more positive over time. Now, Rothbard was another theorist who came after Thomas and Chess and added a few more dimensions to consider, such as their activity level, their positive affect, their attention span. So you can pause the video here and take a minute to review this, but I'm going to more focus on the traditional Thomas and Chess version of temperament. Now, what is the stability of temperament? Remember, Thomas and Chess, they observed children from infancy all the way to adulthood. Well, what they found was that it was better to predict after age 3, once kind of the ins and outs of infancy and toddlerhood had been gone through. They have also developed more of their brain, and again, extreme changes are unlikely. But what they found while they were examining temperament was there's kind of a nature nurture component, right? It's not only how we're born and how we initially react to things, but it's also the caregiving and the environment we live in that will either contribute positively or negatively to our initial category of temperament. So, again, if we as parents and caregivers are contributing to temperament, being an effective parent depends on multiple life conditions, such as, do we have a good parental mental health? Well, that depends on a lot of things, right? Are we happy in our marriage or being single or where we are in our relationships? Do we have favorable economic conditions? Do we have money and stability? Well, all of these are kind of interconnected, right? A parent will most likely have a positive mental health when they have favorable conditions in all areas of their life. What your culture is can also play into that fit between our parenting and the child's temperament. But what we found is no matter what, we have to accept our babies and their unique dispositions and their temperament in order for them to have a successful life. So, what they actually consider that is called goodness of fit. So, again, the theorist behind goodness of fit would be Thomas and Chess. And what they call goodness of fit is a match between temperament and our child rearing environment. And the basis of this concept is that children with no matter what type of temperamental style, whether they're easy, difficult, slow to warm up, or whether they fit in that uncategorization, that unclassified category, all children can adapt positively if they have a good fit. So think about that in terms of being a caregiver of children of different temperaments. If you think of goodness of fit, then you can think of each child in your classroom of just needing to figure out what they need in order for them to be successful. Maybe some children need reminding of using the restroom or diaper changes or eating at a very structured time. Maybe other children, again, just need some reminding and some time in order for them to feel comfortable. But the gist, again, is that no matter what the child's characteristics are, if we can understand them and help set up the environment for them to be successful, then it doesn't matter what their temperament is because we can have a goodness of fit. So please follow up on our Blackboard page because I have some temperamental video clips, and I think it's all within one video, where you can see the characteristics of children from these temperamental styles, and again, what might be needed from the caregiver to best accommodate them.